Alright, so what's up? Let me see. I want to make sure that I had audio there. Did I have audio there? I don't know. Let me make sure, and then we're gonna get right into this. What we're doing right here. This is the third stream today. Did it in pieces. I think it's a little easier for me. It's a lot of information just to try to explain what inspires me about modular, what steps I took basically like from the start to the finish. And it's hard as an MPC guy to get the proper information I needed in order to make some decisions, because I did not know where to start. I did not know where to go for material, for, all of this stuff is a lot to digest and to learn. And coming from an MPC world, sample-based world, I think it's a different way of thinking about things. So for me to be able to kind of talk to that community, that style of thinker that likes to sample audio, that likes audio. A lot of people are into using a DAW or using MIDI. But when you use strictly audio, you are restricted, for one, to whatever audio you're using, but two, in my opinion, it allows you more freedom and flexibility and creativity to work within the confines of your existing piece of equipment. So if you've got an MPC and you put an audio track into an MPC, it doesn't need to just be for recording an audio track. When you put an audio track into an MPC, you've now entered it into the most powerful processing machine that you can get in a standalone unit. Not to say that it's the end-all be-all, but when we're talking about sampling specifically, it's an MPC. There's not a whole lot of debate. So there's a lot of other machines, there's other eras. We can talk about SP1200s, we can talk about the newer 2400, we can talk about all kinds of stuff, Electron, and things like that. But when you want to talk about synthesizers, you're probably going to talk about Moog or Buchla. Those were the two founding fathers of synthesis. When you're talking about samples, sample-based equipment, you're probably going to be talking about an MPC of some sort, or a Roland or something like that. So I'm here to try to speak the MPC language to those who would like to enter their thinkers into the modular world. I don't know everything. I barely know anything. But what I do know, I am willing to share with you. As a matter of fact, this was not supposed to be here today. So I received I just did a bunch of unboxings. Like I said, this is the third stream today. I encourage you, if you want to understand modular from its most ground roots, format up, if you want to lay yourself a foundation for understanding what I'm going to be talking about in this video, maybe watch the first one. And the second one is a lot about workflow, and it's a lot about these modules in particular. If you want to know more about these particular modules that I have here, then I would suggest watching the second video that I did today. But what we're doing during this live stream is we're actually going to look at Modular Grid, pull up my build that I started a while back. When I say a while back, I'm talking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My fan is up a little bit louder right now, up a little bit higher. It's warm down here. I've been wearing this damn tie all day. Probably going to jump out of this thing real soon. But I just wanted to at least get this thing moving. So I'm going to open up this box. We're going to take a look at what this is. I don't know if there's anybody even here yet. I need to also just listen to my audio real quick. Oh boy. I need to have a seat too, because my back is freaking fried. Ugh. But I am enjoying this. I love this type of stuff. I love to explain my thought process on why I work the way I work. I find my own workflows. I find my own, uses for whether it's effects, whether it's hardware, the input, outputs. I use my own way of thinking. If I get stuck somewhere, I will go and search and try and find other options, but I normally will try to figure things out my own way, because then I have a more reliable source, myself. That's what I want. I have a more reliable All right, source. That's cool. Oh, okay, I see there's a couple people in here. Hey, what up, Luce? New Wave, good to see you, man. I'm glad you're back. Also, let me go ahead and Digital Diesel, what up to you? And so I do want to say too, for those that have just subscribed to my channel recently, thank you guys very much, and thank you to everybody who's been showing up. I very much appreciate that. I'm gonna do a rundown and go ahead and give everybody a little shout out. Anybody that's got channels and stuff like that. I'll do that in an upcoming video real soon. So thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate it very much. And I hope that this stuff is interesting. If it's your thing, cool. If it's not your thing, absolutely, I understand. I don't expect anybody to sit through anything that they're not interested in. If you do find any of this stuff interesting, I'm trying to reach as many people as I can here with this type of stuff, because there isn't a lot out there for everybody. So share it if you like it, and yeah, let's get into it. All right. Also, New Wave had asked me too, I haven't forgotten, about MIDI. I believe that I can definitely do during this video. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're gonna talk then about Bitbox a little bit. There we go. Yeah. We'll talk about Bitbox a little bit. Another thing I think is interesting, and I just made this realization while I was like setting up for this stream, is my studio is modular. My recording studio, this is like a live stream, like I don't even know what to call this, like a broadcast studio, but it's a modular broadcast studio. I moved my cameras during the break. I've got a different setup now, because as I was going along, I was looking at it like, I gotta get this camera closer. It was way too far away. And I think this is a much better view. So if you like this a little better, let me know. All right, so what I ended up doing on the last stream was I opened up, this is the Vintage Transistor Core VCO. This is part of the mini mod system from AJH Synths. And yeah, there you go. And what that is it's an oscillator. It's an oscillator, and these have a lot of the characteristics and a lot of the hardware inside of them, circuitry, that you get in a Moog Model D. These are all from the mini mod system, which is the Model D hardware. So that's pretty cool to me. I'm a subtractive synthesis, junkie. So I love Moog. I love the workflow of subtractive synthesis. I've gotten used to it, and it's just my thing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open up this one, and then I'm gonna open up my modular grid system that I built online, and I'm gonna show you what we've got to do to put these modules in, because we can't just throw them in, they won't fit. They have to go in a certain way for me to be able to house all the modules that I've had my eye on. I have to do some maneuvering, damn it, with the layout. because you've got different, different modules or different sizes, and it can be tricky to get everything that you want into one rack. And obviously, I think a lot of people don't, and they just go ahead and start a new one, which is no problem with that either. I'm sure I'll be there soon. That's not coming out the way I wanted it. Let's try cutting this one, I guess. I wasn't expecting this one because I had some problems with the postal service. They said that it had already been delivered 2 days ago. That's what it said in my tracking. So I was pretty certain that I was going to have to wait till Monday to get to the post office to get some more information about where the hell my package was. And magically, today, it showed up. After like 6 p.m. It was like during my break. And what this is, how good can you see right here? Let me dial that in. Cranking my neck around. Alright. And I still can't see any chat or anything until I open this up. But I don't want to really miss it, Is the fan super loud? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, shit. Damn, man. That whole time. My bad, folks. You guys couldn't see anything I was talking about at all. That whole time. Damn. Man. Alright. Fail. Fail! Alright. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead now, since you probably didn't see any of that. I mean, let me just look, because I know you didn't see what I was talking about, but how much of that shit did I really need to tell you? Probably not much. It doesn't need to just be for recording an audio. Damn. It's a lot. It's the whole thing. Okay. It's all of it. Alright. Fail. Shit. Alright, man. Do you guys want me to go over that again? I'm here for you guys. Do you guys want me to go over that again? I will. Let me know. For the ones that are here, that are actually in here, let me know. And I'm going to wait just a second until I give you guys a chance to tell me if you want me to go over that again. What I was going over is some of these modules, and I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe philosophy shit, I guess. I don't know. But there might have been some key things in there. If there was something that you wanted to see, you could probably tell that I didn't know. If there was something that you wanted to see, just leave it in the comment and I'll do it again or whatever. This is a VCA. Alright? A VCA. I got it. There we go. A VCA is a voltage controlled amp. And that's quite nice, actually. It's a lot nicer than I thought it was actually going to be. And this is from Void Modular. It's from Void Modular. Um, like I said, it's a VCA. And I will have my mind wrapped around all of this stuff soon. For now, what this is for me is a way to control things that I can't control elsewhere. That's what I'm calling it, because I need to be very basic in my explanations to myself so that I can digest the magnitude of what I'm dealing with here. So this is beautiful, first of all. It's way heavier than I thought it was going to be. And this is actually called the Hex VCA, I believe. Let me look. Hexagram. This is the hexagram, and the reason why I got it was because my mixer, which is a Befaco Hex Mix and Hex Mix Expander module. I'll show you that now. You already looked at it for about a month, and I didn't know. I guess this is probably the best angle right here. So this is the Hex Mix. This is the Hex Mix Expander. And they connect around the back with a ribbon cable like this. So this one gets power from the bus board, which is attached to the modular itself. And then it actually donates power to this module from a socket on the back. And there's also another socket for something called the Hex VCA. And that's the Befaco Hex VCA, which attaches to the front of the mixer. But it's very big. It's bigger than this one, actually. And it's very expensive, too. I mean, all of this stuff is not cheap, but it was 3 times more expensive than the one I have in my hand. And I decided to go with this one. I may regret it, and I may need to rethink that. But no. For now, we're going to run with it. Man, that color is popping. Isn't that color popping? I feel like I've really got my studio dialed in finally. I got the look I want. It sounds like I want it to sound. I always envision like my favorite movie, 300, you know? And those scenes in 300 where the Spartans are fighting off the troops, and, you know, it's like very, very dramatic, dark, but there's like wild pops of color, like wild pops of red. This is what's dope about modular, is when you get into modular, you'll see it's so quirky. This was in the box. So it's like a Nerds. It's like Nerds, I think, which is perfect because I'm a fucking nerd. Subliminal messaging, maybe. All right. So nerd alert. What else we got? I don't want to get all my ribbon cables freaking confused because I've already got 2 I'm confused about. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this right in now to this guy. And let me check the chat here in just a second so I can see what's up with you guys. If there's anything going on. What's going on in the world? I'll probably do these quite a bit more this way, where I knock out like a couple in a day, because I'm more into creating. Red stripe. So it'll always tell you, check it out. It'll almost always tell you Okay, it'll almost always tell you, which it does right. My eyes are so bad. I swear I just saw it. Ah, right there. Alright, it says it right underneath this socket right here. You see what it says there? It's kind of hard to see. It says red stripe down. What that means is these ribbon cables have a red stripe on the ribbon, and you want to make sure that when you're looking over your modules, that when you're getting ready to plug stuff in, that the red portion of the ribbon needs to be lined up where you want it to be, because that's the power. And if you put the power on the negative side, you're in trouble. So I would definitely take your time with the red stripe situation, because right now it's telling me that the red stripe is that way, and this one actually has no indication of which way is backwards, so you really got to be careful. The rest of them had like a notch that made it impossible to put them in the wrong way. This one does not seem to have that. I don't know if it was supposed to have it, but it does not. So, and so what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you this because this is the kind of stuff I needed to see that I could not find anywhere. It's going to be hard for me to keep it perfectly focused because it's a fixed lens. But I'm going to try to keep it in this area right here. Alright, so this right here is where I have to plug this into. If you can hear me okay, I hope. You can hear me alright? Alright, I hope you can hear me alright. So, this is what it says right here. It says red stripe this way. It says it right in there. It's hard to see, I know. So what I'm going to do is, I got the red stripe. See the red stripe? It's on this side. So what I have to do is actually invert it like this and put it almost like it feels like I'm putting it in upside down, but that's what it's asking. So I'm going to take these little holes, I'm trying to look at my screen while I'm doing this so I can see if I'm showing you the right thing here. There's little pinholes, so I'm just going to line those up the best I can. And with my vision, I'm literally using my feel. Okay, see that? Just like that. That's your modular cable now. Now you need to take this side and attach this side to your bus board. Okay? Let's go take a look at the bus board now. Bus boards come in different forms. I'm gonna show you real quick, which I went over all this on the second video, so actually you'll have to go watch that. I'm like doing myself a disservice by covering material more than once on the same video. I covered bus boards though, and you can definitely understand what I'm talking about if you go check that out. But in the back here of each case is a a place to either attach a bus board, or you can actually stash something called a flying bus board. Now, if you want to see what that is, like I said, just go ahead and go check out that other video. But for right now, you see the bus board right here, and it's attached firmly to the case. Okay, there's one on the bottom. It goes all the way across, and there's one on the second row. This is a 104 HP case. I covered all this in the first video. So if you'd like to understand about HP and U and the differences in formats, Eurorack format, you know, which is a certain type of module compared to other things, okay? So here we are with our nice little VCA from Void Modular. And I think you can see that all right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this, and this is where you can see it a little bit better, I think. Yeah, I think you can see this. When I find it, I'll show you. Jesus. There it is. All right, there's a notch. Okay, see that notch? There's a notch. Okay, that notch needs to go on the bus board. There's another notch. Let's see if I can zoom in with this thing. Actually, let me pull this. This is wireless. I don't know why I'm like afraid to move it. Here, there we go. Much easier, right? Okay, now you can see the notch. You should be able to see it all right. Okay, there's notches in there. So you have to line up your socket with the notch. But you want to also make sure you're looking at the red stripe and that you're not making some sort of foolish mistake. Okay, I'm probably going to make that mistake. Hopefully not right now. But as for right now, I'm not attaching this. I can go ahead and give you an example, because I have to open up my modular grid build so I can properly install it. I don't want to install it and then have to take it out, just as an example. So let me pull up my modular grid count and I'll show you where we're putting them. In the meantime, this is basically what you're getting inside of this thing. So this is just not attached. This would be in there, just like those. And then you would put your notch with your notch. Put your notch with your notch. Okay, this looks very simple. Okay, I mean, I admit I feel like I'm overdoing it right here, but this is what I wanted to see. This, because I had a bus board and I was given a power module. That's correct. Okay, I was given a power module that was actually incorrect for what I was trying to use. The bus boards were incorrect for the power module that I was trying to use. So what ended up happening was I pushed it on, because everybody I got in touch with, all of the manufacturing people and whatever that I was trying to get help from, they all told me it's pretty straightforward. just notch it, you know, follow the notch and press it on. So I did that. But what they didn't tell me was this is not the proper socket for my power adapter. And I do not know how I got this, because this is not, I didn't order anything special. I just ordered it and this is what I got. So you can clearly see there's two things attached to this. And my power module doesn't have that. But when they told me just to press it on there, that's what I did. I friggin' took this and I went like this. I was like, all right, well, I can't use them both. So where's the notch? Okay. There's the notch. There's the notch. So I should be able just to flip it over and drive it in there, even though see? That's what I did. That's incorrect. But you know what? It worked. It worked. So I was trying to see that on a video somewhere, anywhere, and everybody that explained power modules, they just assumed that it's so simple that there's no explanation necessary. So I just wanted to give you guys that, because for me it was like days of trying to figure out what the hell was I missing. And yeah, I don't even know how I figured it out, actually. I think somebody from Reverb told me that they had given me the wrong thing or something. I can't even remember now. But let's pull up Modular Grid and get busy. And I'll go ahead and check the stream real quick, or the chat. See if there's any questions. Anybody wants to say what's up? Yeah, okay, looks good. All right, so Modular Grid. Pull up my account. I do need to find, oh, where is it? There it is. Just trying to find my HDMI connector for my iPhone. So I can pull it up on the feed. So, just got this HDMI connection for my iPhone. Like I was saying before, my studio is like modular, so I can move stuff around as needed. See. All right, I'm going to unplug that just a minute. Okay. This should be pretty cool though. I've never done this before. All right. Looks like it zoomed in a little. Hold on. Okay, so that is my build. So basically, on Modular Grid, you can put together your own, builds, right? You can look up modules. You can see that. Let me switch it over here. So you can look up modules if you want to. You can add them to your rack quite easily. And that's really important, to be able to manipulate your own rack, so that you can get the most out of your space. So looking at this, I see that I'm gonna have to move this over on this side. I got to bring my rings down next to the bit box, and then I got to put Ornament and Crime down here at the end, and then all my new modules should be able to fit up top, I think. So that's what we're gonna rock with. So let's go ahead and start doing that, I guess. Okay. There we go. All right. So it's not a very complicated process. It's just a little time consuming, You've got power module. I mean, you've got power to each module. You've got, CV and gate. You got stuff plugged in everywhere. That's really my only hesitation with it, is because I'm still not that familiar with CV, and a lot of stuff is gonna take me some time. So when I have it working, I always hate unplugging my spaceship when everything's working like it's supposed to, But it's got to be done. So I'm going to try to figure out the best way to do this without detaching everything, but I might have to. First thing I'm going to do is unplug my 1/4-inch jacks that actually go to my mixer, my big mixer. So let me unplug those, and I'm gonna go ahead and mute the mixer, because you guys don't need to hear all the crunching that's about to happen. The right one? Yep, that's the right one. All right, cool. Go ahead and put this back over here. All right, so yeah, my 1/4-inch jacks, these go out to the big mixer, the Allen and Heath. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off to the whole rack. And I'm gonna unplug it, because I do not want any accidents. Okay. Now I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this, but I think I'm gonna just do it one module at a time, because I really don't, I really don't have enough on board knowledge-wise to be able to do all this quickly, So what will I remember? I know that comes from Bitbox, so let me put that over here. Put that over here. This output is not even being used actually. So I'll unplug that. This one is also not currently being used. Alright, so now we're going to unplug this. This is your Bitbox MIDI cable. What they give you is like a MPC, I'm sorry, like a Force, you know, Kai Force jack, mini jack. So that you can plug in your normal MIDI. This will actually control a lot of stuff using this MIDI. It turns this MIDI into CV. And if it sounds like I'm like over explaining things, what I'm just trying to do is speak to MPC users. Basically, I'm trying to speak to you guys in order for you guys to understand kind of the technical side, because you guys have a wealth of knowledge, but it has to be kind of like transferred to a different format, you know? So when I explain things, I try to explain it in terms that make sense for MPC users, because that's who I'm really trying to inspire or help or whatever. So this is what Bitbox is looking like on the back, and down in here you can see, if I can lean it over, where it's plugged into the bus board. Almost. There we go. It's just plugged into that bus board right there. So I'm going to disconnect that. All right. Disconnect that. And then I'm going to try to slide these over. And the other thing you got to have is these nuts. I talked about these rails and stuff in the first stream today. So if you need to or want to understand what these are for, I did do my best to, you know, explain things the best I can with my limited knowledge, but I think it's definitely a good enough explanation to get you by, you know? All right, so I'm going to try to slide these over. I know they're going to get stretched because they're plugged in at a different point on the bus board. I think they're plugged in closer to the left. So let me look. Yep. So I actually do need to unplug it a bit and move it. Okay, now I remember too. That's right. This one actually gets its power from this guy. So I need just to figure out where this guy is. Oh, it's plugged in way down here. Should be fine. As long as the CV's... Ah, this one's way too short now. Okay. So, talk about cable management. Jeez. This is like the ultimate test in cable management right here. Okay, so now I need these little nuts. I know there's more. Where'd you guys go? Now let's slide these down. All right, so there's a couple. Aha. All right, so now I got two there. I got two here. Good enough. We'll start there. I'm gonna relocate the socket on magneto, and I'm gonna put it at the very end because it's the last one in the chain. I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat neat. I don't know how important it is to keep it neat yet, I'm assuming it must be important. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and screw these in. This is, you know, we have actually different kinds of hardware. There's just regular screws that you can screw in with a screwdriver, but then there's these small little hand screws. I haven't gotten them with every module that I've bought, but I have gotten some. And this is what they look like. So I'm going to use these little hand screws this time with magneto. One cool thing about this case that I had made is that it can be closed while fully patched. So I can always have it ready to go, even if I close it up and you know, travel with it. As soon as I open it up, it's ready to go. Man, that's a tight spot right there. I'm gonna have to screw this in. Ooh, it's a very, very tight spot. Wow. Yeah, man. Man, I don't know how I'm gonna get that in there. Jeez. I'm gonna need to use... Yeah, I'm gonna need to use a screwdriver. And I recommend getting yourself something like this. Very small, easy to use. It's not that powerful. You don't want something that's gonna tear everything up. But it's perfect for this. Alright, get in there. Nope. I don't think this thing is magnetic. That would help. All right, there's one, but I tightened it too much. Let me back it off. Okay, so it's in there. I don't need it too tight. And I'm also gonna attach only two. I'm just gonna attach one on each corner for now. Because what'll happen is I'll get them all in there, and then I'll realize I did something wrong, and I'll have to undo them all again. And I just don't want to do 50 times. Although I'm probably going to have to get used to this. It's probably going to be a theme in my life. And I'm going to check the chat again too. If you got any questions or anything about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, just general questions, you know, go ahead and put them in there now so that by the time it gets to me, I'll be done and ready. All right, too far again, but we're getting close. All right, cool. That one's in. All right, let me take a look at my rig again. You can see up here, these are going to be all new modules, which they're all over here. So we need to get rings here, and put that next to this guy. And then we need to get ornament and crime also. So let's do that. Let's get rings. Let me check the chat. Oh, nice. Uh-oh, the candy. Yes, thank you. This is the candy. This was the nerd candy I was speaking about. I was actually saying that this is what's really cool about modular, is how quirky it is. You know, you order yourself a module and you get a package of nerds. I mean, it depends on where you buy from or who it is, but I've gotten candy in every single package that I've gotten so far. I've gotten Swedish fish. I've gotten just all kinds of different candy. Like, it's cool. I think that's interesting, you know? So, yeah, thank you for mentioning that, though. And let's see. Do a quick review. What would you like me to review? Bubby! Mr. Rhythmic Design, let me know what you would like me to review. And see, better safe than sorry with connections and power. Absolutely. No shorts. No, we don't want that. You could take a photo with your phone. Going smooth. Okay. You want me to take a photo with my phone? I could. I'm not sure what you want me to do with it. But let me know. If it can help, I'll do it. If you think it can help. Alright, so let me move this over. We need to plug this in now. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and plug this guy right in. Okay, you got your notch, right? We talked about those notches. That's the notch. And then on this set of bus boards, let's see, I can show you. You can see the notch, right? The notch faces to the right-hand side. So we're going to try to put that in without screwing it up. And I'm going to try to keep it towards the middle. So there's a notch. Let's go ahead and drive that thing right in there. Okay. Now I'm going to drop that in. Best I can. And before we go any further with this one, I would like to actually lock this one into place. So I'll do the same thing that I did with the other one. And I can already tell that it's a little bit too wide for what I have there, so let me slide them over. And I'll grab another little set of the hand crank nut bolts, or screws, I guess I should say. Okay, I'm lining up the holes, and got some more screws in here. And just look for what I've got. This is what I've been sent, you know, as I buy them, I receive these as part of the shipment. So this came with the AJH Sense one, but I'm not really gonna worry too much about what came with what. I just want it to work. So as long as it works, and this one's a lot longer, man. Damn, that's a lot longer than the other one was. I'm actually gonna be able to grab this one and turn it in, I think. Let's see. The other one was so short, I couldn't really twist it. Yeah, look at that. So I recommend right there, if you're gonna get these little hand twist fasteners, to get the longest ones you can find. And where's the other screw? Or nut, I should say. Here we go. All right. So we got a couple of them. And while I'm doing this, New Wave asked a question about the MIDI. As far as I know, what you were asking was how to use MIDI with this. Is that about right, New Wave? If you're still here, let me know. If you're still on board with that question, let me know and I'll try to give you the best I can at answer. I have a couple answers for that depending on what exactly you'd like to know. Okay, slide that down. All I'm trying to do is keep the things I need without making it harder on myself, you know? Because as soon as you slide these all out of your way, you're probably going to need them. So I'm just trying to go with it. I haven't done this before, so this is my first build. I have been playing with the modular rack for about a week or two. So anything you've heard over the last week or two is just new stuff that I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting there a little bit at a time. I feel like I'm getting there. So it's all slow growth, but growth is growth. Growth is growth, and it's mine. Alright, so that looks like it's going to line up just nice. Okay, go ahead with this one. And I'm going to check and see if New Wave left me anything there. Just a second. Okay, there's one there. What's been going on with you, Luce? How's Corona? Jesus Christ, man. Are we gonna be alright, bro? I think we're gonna be alright. I think we have an opportunity to make some massive, massive change. And it feels like it's there. It's going that way. Alright, let me take a look. Yeah. Loose. Of course, man. Got you, bro. Get a private tour anytime. Okay. So, man, this is the thing about modular. Once you unplug or once you remove your patches or turn your knobs, it's over. You have no patch recall unless you get creative with like there's modules like the voltage block. There's some other ones that send they convert CV to MIDI. So you can invest in one of those in order to try to keep a patch kind of in recall. But for the most part, what is alluring or tempting, I guess, to people with modular is that every day is a new day. Every day you turn it on and start messing around with it, you have, you know, the ability to make exactly what you made yesterday or go on a new adventure. And you're almost never going to get the same results twice. So it's really, really important for me to know how everything works, how every function works, and how to get to it so that I can always recreate the things I want. That's where I started with synthesis, with Prophet. My first synth was actually a Casio CZ3000, but the more I played around with synthesis, the more I started to understand it, and now I can take an initial patch, which is just a saw wave, a single saw wave with nothing else on it, and I can basically create entire soundscapes or whatever just from that one patch, all in real time. And that's because I've worked with synthesis so much that I understand how it works, and that's what I need for this. So the MIDI portion of modular is more about getting the notes in rather than anything else. It's more about just having the ability to control the notes, and there are things called like there's another one I was just looking at not that long ago called the CVOCD. CVOCD. What that does is it plugs a regular 5-DIN MIDI cable into it, and then it takes the MIDI information and then it converts it to CV out of 12 different gates, and I think it's 8 different CV. So really, a Novation circuit is made for the CVOCD, because the Novation circuit has like some pretty cool MIDI capabilities. So it's meant to just like plug right into a circuit or another small, desktop sequencer type thing, like a circuit. But anything can be used with it. And then once you pair the CV OCD with a circuit or something like that, you instantly get the ability to like save arrangements and create new patches on the fly and then save it into memory. So you can do that, but a lot of people look at that as like, kind of like counterproductive with modular, I guess, because it's out of the rack. And yeah, so I don't know. I guess it just matters on the person. Like for me, I'm trying to get as close as I can to what I know first. Like with these modules that I got over here that I'm about to put in, I tried to get things that were familiar, like, filters, oscillators, things that I normally use anyway, and tried to get them in a different format so there wasn't such a huge learning curve. So the stuff that I do have, I kind of already knew how to use once I got it. Not, really know how to use it, but I can at least get around. And I know with time, I'm gonna be very, very efficient at making music in real time. Improv, on the fly, whatever you want to call it. And really, it's just therapeutic for me. Even this is somewhat therapeutic, not as, but I'm basically trying not to think about, I just ate just before I came on again. I'm just trying not to think about how damn hungry I am right now. My family's been so patient. They've been waiting for me. But I had this planned out, so I just wanted to make sure I did it and follow through. So there's 2 modules. Let me turn this on just to make sure we got some sort of power here. All right, good. So far, so good. Next is rings. So let me unplug rings. Maybe I can just kind of feed it through here without unplugging too much. I can see I'm gonna need to plug in Ornament and Crime before I put this module in, because I'm gonna have a hard time getting around with my hand. My hands are quite large. Palm a basketball. That helps you. I got size 13 shoe. Your hands are big usually. Alright, let me put this guy in. I can hop a little bit. Nerds can bounce too. I hope I didn't miscalculate the amount of space I had here. Let's see. This should hopefully drop right in here and be one with the universe. Yeah, look at that. Check it out. That's a nice little row, right? I like that. I like it. Can roll with that. I do definitely need to lock it into place though. Do I have a second set? Yep. Let me use this one. Alright. Use that. And I'll definitely be back in here again soon. I'm not going to get to connect all of these modules. I need to get to my family. But I will be back in here soon, and we'll continue on this. I was hoping to be able to do a full breakdown of the iChop performance method for live, for using your MPC/live, you know, your MPC live/X or whatever, in a live performance way with synthesizers and stuff. So I was looking forward to doing that tonight. I did do a few little jams or whatever, like with using that method, but yeah, pretty much reached the end of my stamina here. So please let me know, whoever's here, let me know if there's any other last things I can answer, or you guys have been awesome. New Wave, I appreciate you a lot for being here for most of these, for most of the time, I should say. So, if you find any of this stuff interesting, this is the kind of stuff I do on my channel all the time. I talk about creative, you know, creative empowerment. I try to encourage others. I try to empower others to step outside of their comfort zone, to try new things. Most of my friends have been prompted to do things that are uncomfortable. And please, if this stuff, you know, is enjoyable for you, just share my video, or share something, or just give it a comment. You know, I appreciate the live chat. You know, if you don't mind, give me a thumb or something in the comments or something. That'd be great. Every little bit helps, because people only find you when others are watching you. It's a sick situation, but until that first person finds you, and you will never be seen, you know? So the only way other people find you is if the ones that have found you interact and, you know, come back, basically. Like, YouTube wants to see that people come back and that they engage with you and that you respond and things like that. And I actually don't care about all that, you know, all of the stat stuff and all that. but I definitely want to reach enough people with my message that it can affect, you know, people in a positive way with their mental health and with their, you know, with their goals and things like that. So, mental health is a huge, huge piece of the puzzle, and music, and even engineering. This type of stuff is crucial for me. So I share as much of this stuff as I can, because without it, I would be a mess. So the only problem is that I'm an engineering mind that needs to make music. So whatever that is, right-brained or whatever, I'm super right-brained, and I cannot, like, for instance, I cannot do math and make music at the same time. And I don't think anybody really can. But it's such a split thing for me that if I'm thinking or talking, then I'm not creating. So I've started recently on my scratch and patch videos, on my live performances and my jams and things like that. I've started just doing that with no talking, and I feel as though I give a better, you know, it's better for me, you know, entertainment wise, if I don't talk, because then I can get into it and I can actually think about what I'm doing rather than trying to say things. But I'll get there. I'm sure there'll be a time and place where I'm able to do those things at the same time. And this VCA is going to be super dope in here. I did not think it looked this cool, but it has a lot of inputs on it. So let's get back in here soon and do this again. Let me check you guys out. Yeah, I will. You know what, man? You said about MIDI to CV and CCs and stuff. This guy, the Bitbox will actually turn MIDI CC values into you know, CV or MIDI notes or whatever. So you can actually use CCs, MIDI CCs, to convert into a signal for using with CV, you know. So when I am to that point where I know how to do all that, you guys will be the first to know. I really don't think I'm that far away from having a very good understanding of this. I have a decent understanding of it now, and I don't even have it all in here yet. So I think it's going to be all right. I think I got the right stuff for me. And once I have this routing matrix and all this, once I have this entire CV and audio routing matrix all set up properly, I'm going to be able to send audio to the Bitbox, Force, X, Deluge, all at the same time. I'm going to be able to bring in my drums, I'm going to be able to bring my drums into the modular in real time because of this guy. With its 1/4 inch. Very hard to see some of this stuff for me. So it's got 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch. So you go in with the big jack, and then you can send it back out on the small one. So I'll be sending a lot of my audio from my other equipment into the modular, so that, you know, I will be able to send my MPC in here, or my drums in here, or my whatever. It doesn't matter, because my mixer, my big mixer over here, my big mixer It's quite flexible, and it allows me to route things all over the place. So I'll be able to record in the Force, in the MPC, in the Bitbox, in the Deluge. I'll be able to return that audio back in, because not only does this have 3 auxiliary sends in this Befaco mixer, but it has 3 returns. Here. I showed this all in the other videos, so if you want a more in-depth look at all of this stuff, I went over it pretty heavy, so feel free to go and check those out and let me know what you think. If there's more that you need to know, just let me know. So it's got direct outputs, which are 1/4-inch jacks, and now that it's properly fastened, I can just plug them in and pull them out. I don't have to worry about what I'm hurting. I'm always like having to hold stuff down as I pull it out, so I won't have to do that anymore. So it's got the big jacks all along the top, and these are all direct outputs from each input. So this input 1, comes directly out right here on direct out 1. So if I wanted to send these 6 outputs directly to the big mixer and do a multi-track recording, I can do that. I can do a multi-track Eurorack recording, 6 tracks. So this is the mixer, the Befaco, the small Befaco mixer that I got. So I'm going to combine sources here and then send the single in to here, so that I'm not using 4. If I need to plug in 4 things, I don't want to use 4 of these. So I can also do the same with this, and then this is also going to allow me to do a little bit of that. But the one I have coming on Monday, the module I have coming on Monday, is something I have wanted for at least 6 years. Not the module itself, but what it does. So I'm very excited about that. You guys will have to come back. Please come back. Come and check it out. I'm really excited about the direction of my channel right now, and all of this stuff has got me really motivated and really excited. Not only that, but I've reached this place in my life creatively where I'm inspired by myself. I am inspiring me. And what that means for me is that I don't actually need to worry anymore about how others do or don't like what I'm doing, because I am inspired by what I am doing. And I am in a great place, like, you know, with just trying to grow all the time and pass it along. So I started a podcast also. This was a few days ago, Keys to Create. There should be some pretty interesting things going on this podcast. So it's a bit introspective. It has nothing to do with the layout of musical equipment. The first episode is just me talking about creative courage and about what things I have done and things, what makes me able to put myself out there when, you know, it's terrifying. So if you're interested in philosophy type stuff, or, you know, just trying to find new ways to motivate yourself, come and check that out too. It'd be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and just take one last look at the chat, and I'm going to head up on out of here for the day. Thanks, man. I see that you enjoy the build and the behind the scenes stuff, and for me that's really what I'm hoping, is that people like me will find me, because that's what I want to watch. I want to watch people that are trying to figure stuff out. I want to watch people succeed. I want to watch people do it their own way and allow me to ride along until they succeed. You know when somebody's going to succeed, don't you? I call it the light. You see when somebody's got the light, and you can see when somebody doesn't. But yeah, it's all good, man. Yep. Cool. Hey, Paulie. Good to see you, bro. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Cool. Yeah. All right. So let's get up out of here. I'll be back soon. Please, just give me a sign that you're enjoying it. Make sure you hit that little button up there. All right. As Polly would say, smash it or do something. All right. I'm out. By the way, Polly really doesn't say that. He was just joking. Peace.